Here now is Congressman Dave Brat, a Republican from Virginia. He is a member of the Budget Committee and the Freedom Caucus. What do you think, sir? Thank you for joining us. When do you think a vote is going to happen?
Hey, you bet, Melissa. Yeah, I think Wednesday. I'm hearing rumors of Wednesday. I think we're getting to yes. We've all been compromised, working hard. Vice President Pence came over and kind of offered up a win-win scenario for all of us. We get a little more states' rights. The states that want to opt out of some of the regs can do it. The liberals can do liberal policy, the moderates moderate, and the conservatives conservative. That sounds like a win-win. It's basic conservative Republican policy. And so I think we'll get there by Wednesday or so.
Give us, I mean, that's really interesting. Give us a few more tidbits. What else can you tell us about what's in there?
Yeah, it's the same we've been discussing, right? Obamacare failed because it paid sole attention to coverage and not to price. So prices are going through the roof. That's why you're in a death spiral. So on the Republican side, we didn't want to make the same mistake, so we're paying more attention to price now at the end. And Obamacare is the regulations, right? That, for the people out there, Obamacare is the regulations. If you keep all the regulations, you're going to keep the high price, and your premium will double again in about 3 years, right? It's going up 30%.
Right.
So if you get rid of some of the regulations, right now a young person after college, they cannot go out and buy a cheap policy. That's the problem. Why not? Because they got to satisfy some of these regulations. So let them go buy a cheap plan without a $10,000 deductible, and I think that's a win-win. That's what American people expect.
What are you seeing on the folks with pre-existing conditions? Are their premiums going to be higher? Do they go in that risk pool? Are you going to direct government money at the risk pool? How do we pay for those folks?
Right. There's been a lot of misinformation there. So the key piece, there's about 5% of the folks account for 50% of health care costs in the country. So they can't get insurance in the first place. So you're right on the money. We're going to set up high-risk pools, and most importantly, number two is Obamacare covers pre-existing conditions. We're not changing that regulation, right? So that stays in place, and on top of that, we added $120 billion for high-risk pools at the state level, and another $15 billion called the Maine experiment that both increase coverage and reduce price. So everybody, we've gone out of our way to find win-wins. In economics, you can do that. Up here on the Hill, it's always kind of a zero-sum game, and we can do much better. Okay.
Switching gears to the budget, Congress has agreed on a second bill that would fund the government through September 30th. Some of the president's key platforms, though, like the border wall construction, aren't included in the package. Some are saying he caved. And then you've got, Chuck Schumer saying, well, it's so good that we can all work together when he's complimenting you. That's sort of like a, maybe a sign that things have gone off the rails. Give me your take on all that.
Yeah, no, I've got a mini list here. Congress deal funds sanctuary cities, Obamacare, EPA, Planned Parenthood, doesn't fund the wall. Rush Limbaugh was teeing up that thing about 2 o'clock. I was on the ride up here, turned him on for a minute. And he's not a happy camper. He's like, where's the Trump agenda? He just won the presidency. We're also not dealing with the travel ban. We're fully funding that. That's a Trump policy in place already. We're refunding Central American immigration programs. And basically, the major Trump initiatives we're not paying attention to. And no money for the wall. And so, it's a head-scratcher. And the conservative base is not going to be happy. And President Trump's not going to be happy. And so the only good part is this only goes through September, and President Trump is very good on leverage, right? So he's got all the secretaries, a $4 trillion budget, and we own the House and the Senate. So I hate to say next time we'll do better, because this is not good enough. President Trump won a major victory on a fairly clear agenda, and it's not embedded in the budget.
Congressman Dave Brat, you had me going there on the first one. We were all excited. Now we're depressed again, but that's okay. Thank you.
Right. That's it. Thanks, Melissa.